I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Bills going up against the Falcons. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. Now Tre'Davious White on the return. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Leading them out in his 7th year now out of Virginia Tech, Tyrod Taylor.
In his 2 years as a starting quarterback in Buffalo, he had over 1,100 yards on the ground, so we know that he can scoot. But don't underestimate his right arm either. 37 touchdown passes and just 12 interceptions in those 2 seasons.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Here we go!
This is McCoy. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. The numbers last week for Shady McCoy. 10 carries, 51 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Taylor to throw on second down. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to third down. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them, and if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
On third down, here's McCoy. And oh, at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Leopard, let's go! Madden NFL.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 23 carries, 119 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
All right, now, look at 56. All right, now, look at 56. Let's go. Look at 56. Back to that Philly. Here we go.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now Schaub, forced out to his left. He finds Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Here's Schaub. Steps away to his left. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Detroit! Watching now, Barney!
Freeman again. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
3-19. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Hard throw, incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So the opening drive for them here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first, and let everyone start to celebrate.
This one taken just inside the 10. Here now, a look at LaShawn McCoy. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Shift together here from the D-line. After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
We always talk about how important speed is in the game of football. Deion Jones may be an undersized middle linebacker, but his speed allows him to get to just about anywhere on the field and make a play.
And between he and Keanu Neal, the Falcons took the top 2 spots in the NFL in terms of rookie tacklers a season ago. Now Taylor, he completes it to Jones. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. Zay Jones, a second-round pick from East Carolina. Some thought could have been a first-round pick from East Carolina.
High-volume guy at East Carolina. I mean, the big-time catch, 158 of them in 2016. And he's an NFL legacy. His father, a longtime linebacker in the league.
They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Courtney Upshaw in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, it's McCoy. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On second down, Freeman. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Lorenzo Alexander coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Interesting note on Alexander. October of last year, he was named the AFC Defensive Player of the Month. First time that's happened for a Bills defender since 2000.
Well, it's indicative of his year. He ended up having 12.5 sacks on the season.
It's a give to Freeman running right. And some room to work. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be third down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Detroit! Let's go!
Now back to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Pressure comes and the Bills block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And look out, I think he's going to go. And it's a Bills touchdown.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Back to throw now on first down. Now he'll escape. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jerry Hughes able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
He's airing it out for Sanu. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
To throw is Taylor. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And now it's second down. Now let's take a look here at the Bills offense.
Well, the one thing we do know about Buffalo, they love to run the football. Number 1 in the NFL in 2016 in rushing yardage. Expect that to continue, but look for an upgrade in the passing game. If they add that, they can be really dangerous.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Taylor, his throw incomplete. Try to go back to Matthews there, and that'll make it third down. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
There's a lot to like about Robert Alford's play. Tenacious, tough, gritty, able to run. The one thing he's trying to clean up, gets a little handsy at times with receivers. Sometimes he'll work out with boxing gloves in practice to remind himself to keep his hands off of those guys so he can just go ahead and make plays.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. Now it's Taylor. Open man is Holmes. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play for the Bills on third down. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now whistles as time has run out on this first quarter. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. The gun, it's Taylor. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Jordan Matthews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Andre Roberts now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A reminder, later tonight, the Colts, they'll be in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. And then Monday night, it's the Redskins getting a 2nd straight night game as they'll head down to Arrowhead to take on KC. We're in October already. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. This one's moving fast.
Here we go.
Gabriel, the man in motion.
Watch it now, Barney. Over. Check.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Powers through, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. Getting it out left side to Sanu. Nifty footwork at the 45. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Running right, this is Freeman. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. And hang on here. Freeman shaken up. Remaining on the ground after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. second down following the run.
All right, here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback, but in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player, so he can't get outside of you.
They'll go again to McCoy. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Courtney Upshaw in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Leopard! Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19! Leopard! Leopard!
Freeman at tailback. He's got it running left. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Watch you now, Barney!
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And here come the Bills. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of first downs.
Taylor hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now McCoy. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
You know, today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
All right, now, look at 56. Leopard! Leopard! Go, go, go. He's moving. He's moving. Watch it now, Bird.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Watch it now. Over.
They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Schaub, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons draw a bit closer.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
Let's go. Hey, got 4 down.
And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. For McCoy in the last 7 years, 5 of them over 1,000 yards.
Underrated in how strong he is through the hole, but the best part of his game, open field, where he makes a whole lot of people miss.
In 2016, he was 7th in the league in rushing yardage. On 2nd down, Taylor. Caught right side, Tate. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 47-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And he's brought down. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo 1st.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Play action, now Taylor. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Vic Beasley is an absolute terror off the edge now. His rookie year only had 4 sacks, but that was because he was playing out of position as defensive end and had a bad shoulder.
So last year, 15.5 sacks. I think he's in the right position now.
They figured out where to put him in the scheme and turned him loose.
On second down, here's Taylor. Left side here, caught by Clay. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now McCoy. And he loses the football the second time. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds, getting it across the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And some room to maneuver. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Coleman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. He's airing it out for Sanu. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Matt Bosher now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Taylor with a give to McCoy. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
On 3rd down, it's McCoy. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Colton Schmidt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Muscling free near the 40. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Now Schaub. Trying to lay one up deep. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They run from the pistol here with Freeman. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Gone! All right, here we go. Watch it now. Over! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it. Freeman. 2 yards is the pickup, and it'll give the Falcons a 1st down.
Oh, he's not going to get it by much, but on 4th and 1, all you're worried about is moving the sticks. And here he's able to fight his way forward for a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
Now let's go. Gone!
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the stakes, guys, we might have to...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From the gun, it's Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Colton Schmidt now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Green, 39. All right, now, look at 56. No. Check. Patriot.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And now out come the Bills. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Taylor. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 3rd down, Taylor. And that is incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is fielded at the 27. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. He's looking sharp here so far in the third quarter, Charles.
It appears that the halftime gave him a little bounce. You know, came out, springing his legs, a little pep in his step, and he's taking off and running really well in the third quarter.
Sometimes we talk about how guys don't want halftime to come, and some guys, they're happy when that break gets there.
You never know which way it's going to go. He's taking advantage of it in this one, though.
Freeman with a fast feet. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet, right on the 30-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Detroit! Detroit!
Freeman again, a first down carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here we go now.
Here's Schaub. Dancing to his left. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big... This is Coleman. He hops over him.
That's why.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up, because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes for a gain of 31. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it a 2nd down. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And McCoy loses the football. And the Falcons grab it. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They go play action here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They find some open field here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Play was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they're operating in the red zone. Coleman now. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A gain of 3, second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Now a 20th carry here for McCoy. A beautiful spin and room to run. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive
DBs.
backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
Double
dime.
it.
A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Taylor now off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack.
Come on, let's go.
from midfield now. Here's Taylor. And an alley to run. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Here's Colton Schmidt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. Since emerging from the locker room at intermission, he's looked pretty sharp, hasn't he?
He's running in this third quarter like he got the orange slices at the half.
Oh, yeah.
You remember when we were kids?
He got the orange slices, not the carrot stick.
Oh, boy.
There was always that mom, wasn't there?
Always that mom. Wasn't yours, wasn't mine. All right, the carrot sticks. But this guy, orange slices, and been reading the Surface tablet, watching the defenses, and he's made some nice adjustments.
That goes for a gain of 31.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Hurry up, here we go. All right, now, look at 56. Look at Detroit. Watch him now, Barney.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man. And each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Left side, caught by Matthews. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now Taylor on 1st down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Taylor with a draw to McCoy. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Caught on the right side by Jones. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open man is Holmes. He's at the 30, past the 20, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Andre Holmes, his 4th touchdown on the year, and the Bills cut into that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're one run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big, and we're starting to see that here in the second half.
So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Coleman. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Bills getting set to go. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can...
Jordan Matthews all by himself. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Jordan Matthews, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bills draw a bit closer.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or 2.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, you know, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. On 3rd down, it's Coleman. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win 1 every now and then.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jordan Matthews here getting ready to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Taylor now to throw on 2nd down. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. So the D-line's going to spread out. On 1st down, it's Taylor. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Deion Jones able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Taylor. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take this one down to the 20-yard line. And give him a gain of 37. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. From the red zone now, here's Taylor on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got room. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy take. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Shaq Lawson in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll look to throw. Flush to under pressure again, and down he goes again. Shaq Lawson able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going up top. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall at the 29. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And an alley to run. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. The 20. 10. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Charles Clay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at God. Watch it now, Barney.
Freeman again. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Looking deep for Gabriel. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The play clock's running down. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone.
Looking to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off, Jarvis Jones. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Let's go. What? 90.
Again, it's McCoy. And he's got some space here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. A give to McCoy. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Let's go. What? None. What? None.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win.